What is good, my fellow warriors of light? This is your host, Lotus Moon, with another Mobius Final Fantasy video. So today's video is going to be another one of my 8-panel unlocking videos, and we're going to be featuring the legend job Balamb Mercenary, also known as Squall. Before I get into the video, I just have to say it is nice to be back in Mobius after that 24 hours of error code 12. It's very nice to be back in the game. We are getting 500 Magicite compensation for not being able to log in that whole day. Now, in my opinion, that's a little bit low, considering many people, including myself, missed out on a free summon, as well as not being able to collect our distiller and farming and all that stuff. So I think it would have been nice if they also gave us, in addition, one summon ticket and maybe an elixir or two. But I at least are giving us something for it. I don't think it was their fault. I think the hackers are mad because they are banned, so they're trying to disrupt the game because they're salty. But I'm not here to talk about all that in this video. This is going to be an unlocking video, and so it's funny, I just recently got Squall from a free summon right after the game got back online, and I was super excited. If you watch my first batch pulling video, you knew that I really wanted Squall. He is an amazing legend job. He comes with one of the best weapons in the game for warriors. I'm really excited to show him off to you guys. So this video is going to be kind of just more of a basic introduction to the job. If you guys are wondering what he's all about, I'll be going over his stats, his auto abilities, his evaluation, and I'll show him in a battle with showing his ultimate. So hope you enjoyed the video. But before we get into that, let us first check out his evaluation on the Japanese website to see where he stacks up currently in Japan. Even though they are a year ahead of us, we'll take a look at what he's currently ranked in Japan. So here he is. He's looking badass with his Gunblade. So his current evaluation in Japan is 88 points in single player and 93 points in multiplayer. So very high still. And I don't believe he's gotten his... No, he hasn't even gotten his Hall of Fame panels yet. So once this guy gets his Hall of Fame, expect to be extremely broken. Just kind of like what happened with the Judge Magister. They recently got custom panels for him in Japan, and he became pretty much one of the best attackers, if not the best, for his elements. So I'm expecting that eventually, maybe in the near future, Balamb will also get some Hall of Fame panels in Japan, and which will make him extremely broken. But anyway, here's his current evaluation. In global, I would rank him even higher than this, simply because of our meta, and he's definitely one of the strongest legend jobs currently. So, but here it is. So strong points. So yes, he has a lot of good extra auto abilities. Weak point damage up, break damage up, all kind of enhanced damage. I think 120% to all three of his elements. So he's extremely high power job to get out some high damage. He's also pretty durable. It's saying here that he has kind of low HP, but this guy's actually one of the higher HPs among some of the jobs. So this guy is actually pretty well balanced, and he has heal drives as well. And also looks like he has a auto ability right off bat, prismatic orb appearance rate plus 15%. So if you put on a weapon that gives prismatic orb appearance as well, you can easily get it up to 30 and above %, which is just amazing. Weak points, and I'll show this too. He has extremely low break power. So you might want to bring something. I think Knights of the Round would be perfect since it gives boost. But yeah, low break power is kind of the only thing going on with him. He's a very top-notch class attacker in multiplayer. Because the low break doesn't matter, since you're just going to be trying to do max damage. So he's very good for multiplayer. So let's see here. So his elements, he only has one set of elements, which is kind of a drawback, compared to a lot of new jobs that has 2 sets you can choose from, which makes him more versatile. So he does have access to fire, wind, and dark. And his weapon is a Gunblade. And I'll talk about his weapon in a bit and compare it to another weapon. So yeah, he only has 3 elements available to him. Another drawback to him, though, is he doesn't have any lore abilities. So you're only going to be able to use effectively warrior type cards on him, unlike, say, the Judge Magister, which has also mage lore. So here's his stats at what is it? The highest level, 350 in Japan. That's just kind of showing you what to expect as far as his HP, attack, break, and magic power. He does have quite a few stars of critical right off bat. So if you have a weapon that increases his critical stars, you'll easily be able to get to gold star, which will be 10 stars of crit damage. So very good there. He has a long list of auto abilities. Very good. I'm going to show him in game because it's the English version, but once I unlock him. But just really quickly, he does have Clutch, Brave, Barrier, and Drain, as well as Berserk. Heal Dries for 3 elements, 120% extra enhancement to 3 of his main elements. Weak damage break damage up 50%, weak point damage up 50%, critical damage up 50%, the 15% prismatic orb appearance, and some more auto charging for his ultimate. So he has a lot of good things going on. I'll go more in depth into this in the video. His ultimate has extremely low break power, but very high offensive power. And it also gives you Warrior Trance as an extra ability, which is kind of neat. So for this guy, if you're going to be unlocking him, here's the 8th panel. It's mostly going to be, it's mostly going to be crystals. So I hope you have a lot of crystals if you're planning to unlock him. It's funny with legend jobs, some are going to be like normal, some are going to be very crystal heavy. The good thing about crystals is you can unlock them extremely fast without having to farm skill seeds. The drawback is crystals are harder to get, so you can 8-panel him really quickly if you do have enough crystals, although you do still need a few skill seeds. As you can see here, you still need a little bit of fire, wind, and dark. Not too much though, so I do have enough easily to unlock him, so we'll get into that in the video. Now about his weapon, the Gunblade, like I said, it's one of the best warrior weapons. If not the best, it's just more of a situational type thing, depending what you're trying to do. So right now in Global, there are 2 S, and S rank weapons. It is this one, the Gunblade, and the Eternity Blade. The Braveheart X that came off of the Mythic Knight. So as you can see here, the evaluation Gunblade, single player double S, multiplayer S. So let's compare the two, because I don't want to say that one is better than the other necessarily. They give you different they give you different auto abilities depending what you want, you know. So this is gonna be I'm just gonna be comparing them at maximum reinforcement, because this is gonna be like the end game stats. So as you can see here, the first auto ability, which is chain ability plus 50%, and then second auto ability, critical damage up 70%. Third auto, weak point damage up 70%. So those are the main 3 auto abilities this has. Now I'm going to show you now the Braveheart X. And now, because I know I've been getting some questions, which one is better, which one should I boost? It's really up to you. Honestly, I think you should boost both of them, depending on your situation. So this one also has ability chain 50% and crit damage up 70%. Just like the Gunblade. So the first 2 are going to be the same auto abilities. The third one is going to be the main difference between the 2. So the Gunblade has weak point damage up 70%, and the Braveheart has break damage up 70%. So what you have to ask yourself is, are you going to be exploiting the opposite elements more often, or are you going to be breaking the enemy more often? And that's really what it comes down to. If you're going to be fighting a boss that is neither weak to the element you're using, or if you're not going to break it, these 2 weapons will be doing the same thing for you, because the only thing that are going to be affected there is going to be the crit and the ability chain. Now, if you break the boss, you're going to get the 70% damage up from the Braveheart, which would be better if you're nuking the boss with, say, a neutral element. So like, say you're fighting a fire boss, say like Ifrit, and you're using unbreakable bonds. That's a dark attack. Weak point damage up is not going to do anything for you with the Gunblade, simply because Ifrit is not weak to dark, he's weak to ice. So Unless you can take advantage of the opposite element, then the Gunblade will be better for those kind of situations. But if you can't, then breaking the enemy and using the Braveheart would be better. So it just depends on your situation. If you're using a no-break strategy and you're planning on using the opposite element, obviously the Gunblade is going to be the best weapon for the job. Now, I've seen some discussion on these two weapons before, and someone made a good point. More often than not, you're going to be breaking the enemy more often than you're going to be using the opposite element. And I believe this to be true, especially in single player. More often than not, you're going to be breaking the enemies. Maybe not in single player as much, maybe, but I feel like more often I'm using my strongest attack card, whether the enemies are weak to it or not. Obviously, if the enemies are weak to my stronger cards, I'm gonna be, it's gonna be better. But a lot of times I am breaking the bosses, so this might be better for you, the Braveheart. So either way, they're both extremely good. I can't really say which one is better. They're both more circumstantial. They're both the best weapons in the game for warrior. So take your pick depending what you need. But that's enough jabber about the weapons. Let's get right into the game and unlock him. So here he is. He's wearing Squall's outfit. They did a pretty good job, I feel like. Obviously Squall looks better in this outfit than the Warrior of Light does, in my opinion. Squall looks more badass with his scar on his face and dark hair. But Warrior of Light, he looks alright in the outfit. Looks a little bit emo, but not too bad. He has, all the belts on his legs and stuff, just like Squall. Not a bad looking outfit. But this is a really good job though, guys. So once you get him, here's his base stats. I just have this basic blank weapon on, just so we can see him without it. But let's take a look at his the job card itself. Here are the auto abilities it comes starting with. As you can see, Prismatic Draw already 15% on him. So I'll be looking at that after we do the 8 paneling. So the first panel is already unlocked for you, just like a lot of legend jobs are. This doesn't really matter too much to me, as I told before, because it's very low skill seeds. But either way, the first panel is already done for us. This one came with Prismatic Draw 15%, very important. Fire Heal Drive and Painful Break 20%. And also Advert Attack Down 20%. So this was an extremely good first panel. Second panel, you're going to be using all fire skill seeds. This is going to give you Enhance Fire 30%, Clutch Barrier, Improve Criticals 20%, Exploit Weakness 20%, very, very good. And all the other standard HP and attack bonuses. So let's go ahead and unlock the second panel here. And let's get an Exploit Weakness. Moving right along, third panel is when you're going to start seeing the crystals. So this panel you're going to need for 8 crystals. So 8 crystals here, very crystal heavy. Luckily I have enough crystals, but anyway, here we got fire, enhanced fire 40%, some clutch drain, you got some more enhanced fire 50%, more advert attack down, and another painful break 30%. So that is very good, very, very good panel right here. So let's unlock it. Unfortunately, it's going to make you do the... Oh, actually, never mind. I think in the past it made you do the crystals one by one. I'd have to look at my older video, but that is nice. It saves some time there. So the third panel is now unlocked. Going over to the fourth panel again, you're going to need 8 crystals again. So Exploit Weakness 30%, very good. You're going to get some more speed, which is important. Heal Drive for Dark. Improve Criticals 30%. That's amazing for a damage booster. And a lot of extra magic and attack power. So let's go ahead and unlock this baby. And get that Exploit Weakness. Very nice. So here's the fifth panel. All fire orbs again. Very little fire orbs. And we're finally going to get the new Gunblade in this panel. It is very good. I can't wait to use it. And honestly, I like the looks of the Gunblade better than the Braveheart. Just my personal taste. I think the Gunblade looks pretty badass. The Eternity Blade, I mean the Braveheart looks, I mean it's a pretty nice looking sword, you know. But it doesn't really match Squall's outfit. Here, let me just put it on him real quick. And this is just more of, you know, aesthetic look, but as you can see, it doesn't quite match his outfit. Final Fantasy VIII was a very kind of more modern looking Final Fantasy. So this blade on him doesn't quite match his outfit. The Gunblade definitely looks much cooler and more, you know, more appropriate since that's his weapon. So looking pretty awesome. But for now, we're just gonna continue leaving this shitty weapon on. So moving on to the 6th panel, all fire orbs again. Enhanced Dark 30%, Clutch Brave, Enhanced Dark 40%, and just more basic stat boosting, so let's go ahead and lock that. And upgrade to the Gunblade Plus. Very nice. So, skill panel 7, we're going to have 40% extra enhancement to wind, Clutch Berserk. Now, Clutch Berserk is kind of an odd one to me. Berserk is kind of risky, especially since it's a clutch ability. You're going to be low on health to activate it. So if you're low on health, you know, Berserk is going to have you increase your damage at the cost of lower defense. So you could be taking some more damage with Berserk on. However, there is one good thing to this. You know, you can kill the enemies faster with it. And this also has Clutch Drain. So the Clutch Drain hopefully will counterbalance the extra damage you'll be taking. So hopefully that kind of makes up for it. Gonna get the Gunblade Bliss. And another, of course, more attack advert down. So let's go ahead and unlock this panels. Get that Gunblade. Finally, we're at the 8th panel. We're going to get that additional speed, of course. Very important. You're going to get a lot of more magic and break power here. You're going to get kill and draw +1. I'm a personal fan of this auto ability just because it really helps replenish your orbs when you're using AoE attack cards. So you can just pretty much keep spamming your AoE attack cards and just keep wiping out mobs and rinse and repeat. So I do like kill and draw. It's nice to have it on just a, you know, an auto ability on him instead of having to put on your weapons on your cards. So he does have Enhanced Dark 50%, which is really nice, and that should complete all his enhancements. So let's go ahead and unlock this last panel and finally get the Gunblade X. I'm gonna be boosting this baby as soon as I can. Definitely worth boosting. So here it is, all panels are now unlocked. We'll take a look at his final stats before we go and equip him with cards. So here it is, he does have a good amount of HP, attack and magic right off bat. His break power is, as you can see, on the lower side, but he is a warrior, so warriors were never meant to be great breakers. That's been always more of a rogue type ability, really. He does come with 5 stars crit right away. And like I was saying earlier, if you attach just any kind of good weapon, you can very easily get him to 2 gold stars. Let's see here. Yes, so like this one here, 10 stars a crit right there, very easily once you upgrade some weapons. So anyway, let's look at his auto abilities now. So like I said, Clutch, Barrier, Brave, Drain, and Berserk. So hopefully that Drain will counteract that Berserk a little bit for you guys. And the Barrier will also, of course, help increase your defense. You got triple heal drives, which is really great for keeping alive as well. The enhancement to all 3 damage here, 120%. That is super high, guys. A lot of jobs only has like 50% enhancements and stuff. We are getting into the higher tier jobs now. Over 100% enhancement to each element. This is incredibly strong. You're going to be able to reach the damage cap very easily with this job. Even with something just like a Sicarius card, you're going to definitely be able to hit max damage with this bad boy. Elemental starter plus 16 and extended break. That's pretty much standard for all jobs. Painful break 50% right off bat. That's really great to have on him, even without the weapons on him equipped. Exploit weakness 50% and improve criticals 50%. All extremely good auto abilities to have him just right off bat to improve your damage. I'm particularly loving this prismatic draw 15%. That is such a great auto ability to have standard on him. Kill and draw plus 1, I mentioned that already, is awesome. Auto charge ultimate plus 3. So if you have any kind of auto charge ultimates on your cards, you're going to be able to charge your ultimate incredibly fast with this guy. He can also have 100% resistance to attack down, which is really good in some situations. It's not as important for like warriors as it is, say, like monks. Monks have to have their attack power high, but still nice to have. If you do a job change shift, it will change your orbs to fire orbs for anything that he can't use normally. And then that's just for multiplayer. So here is his auto abilities, all very good. Let's just go ahead and let's see him with his Gunblade again. So yeah, chain ability and improved criticals right off bat, 30% for each of this. The stats on the Gunblade is actually pretty decent, even without enhancing them, but we'll put on something better for now. Could use the Masamune, or we can use a Braveheart. I'll just put the Masamune for now. Alright, so let's put on some cards on him. So when you're building this guy, like I said earlier, you don't have as many cards to choose from since he doesn't have any extra lore abilities. And he only has 3 elements to choose from. So the way I build most of my decks, you can build it any way you want, of course. I like to have 1 card of each element, so I'm hopefully wasting less time. And this is for single player, guys. I'm on the single player screen. You'd want to build your multiplayer decks according to what you're fighting. So this is just more of a standard build for a single player, just to make things fast. So what I like to do is I like to have 1 card for each element, so I'm hopefully driving elements less, which is, you know, wasting actions. Now you can, like I said, you can build it any way you like. I just like having 1 of each element. So I usually have 2 AoE cards and 1 high damage, like damage focus card. So I try to mix it up, have 1 that's going to give me lowering defense against break and 1 that's lowering the critical resistance. So this is an extremely good card for him. This one is going to be lowering your defense against break on your enemies. Unfortunately, I don't have the damage limit break unlocked on here, but this is still a great utility card to break the yellow gauge off enemies and just do an extra nice debuff on them. So I'm going to be using Bahamut here. My warrior fire cards are a little bit lacking, but another good card if you got it from the Final Fantasy 12 event, Bosch, is actually pretty good. It's high power, single target damage focused. We got some great extra auto abilities to enhance your damage here. So it's a pretty good card. And it comes with a job change recast right away. So this is a pretty strong card. If you have it and you want to use this as your main damage card, you can as well. So his other element, Wind. So Odin, this is my best card for Wind for warriors at the moment. This one is completely unlocked, and it has a lower critical resistance. So that's gonna let you do more criticals on your attacks. So I'm going to go ahead and equip that on him. Now for Dark, I do have the Supreme card, Unbreakable Bonds. Now, of course, if you don't have this card, there's plenty of options you can use for Dark cards. I am going to be equipping him with this card, but if you don't have that card, you can use another AoE card, such as like Amon here, if you don't have, say, Odin. So you can use that. If you did manage to pull Arden, this is a very strong card, guys. Don't forget about this guy. He is very good. As Painful Break draws you an extra element of Dark and has a multi-striking attack. So he does have high attack and high break, which makes this a very versatile card. And it has 2 gold stars of crit. So this is gonna be definitely high high potential for critting. So if you're able to pull this from the Final Fantasy 15 event, this is a great card to equip on him as well. Odin, you know, if you're gonna bring this to multiplayer, this is a great card, of course. Give you all those dark orbs and dark force. So this is another great potential card to use on this guy. And I'm gonna be using Balamb Mercenary as my main dark attacker now. So he's kind of going to replace my he's kind of replacing my Soldier First class. Simply because of how much more dark enhancement he has. Like look at that, 139% dark, and that's without any custom skill panels. So that's just incredible. I was able to get my here. Let's put on one more card off him before I forget. So let's just go ahead and put Knights of the Round on him. Knights of the Round's gonna be a nice boost in damage, that giving it faith. And also has standard enhanced dark 3%. So it's a pretty good card for him as well. So I usually, like I said, I usually like to have 2 AoE cards, 1 high damage card, and 1 support card. And the reason I only bring 1 support card is because I'm going to rent a second support card always. So if I bring 2 support cards and I rent another support card, that's going to be 3 support cards, which is okay. You can do that if you want, but on my rentals, I basically only have Aerith. So that's always, to me, since I don't have Aerith and it's one of the best support cards in the game, I pretty much just load up my friends list with Aerith. So I always have it available for me. So now that we have him all decked out here with a good build, I was comparing him to Soldier First Class. So like I said, look at that. Enhanced Dark, 142% now. That's just crazy, guys. And my Soldier First Class, he does have 83% Enhanced Dark, but he only comes with 40% Standard. The reason why it's so high is because of my custom skills. I have quite a bit of Enhanced Dark here, so I'm probably gonna be moving these panels over to my Balamb Mercenary to get his Enhanced Dark to probably like over 160%, maybe 170% even, which will be incredible. So this is a great build here, guys. Like I said, I'm gonna be using Masamune only because I like for single player I do like that reunion. But for multiplayer, of course, you're gonna want to bring your Gunblade once you get the 3rd auto ability, especially, or your Braveheart X, which does have some great auto abilities. So as you can see here, he does have a lot of HP right off bat, over 12k at the max deck level currently for our chapter. Magic is really high too, 618%. So, and like I said, once I get all those custom skills worked out, he's gonna be even a better attacker. So now that we have them all with a nice setup here, let's go take him to battle. Kind of see what we can do with him. Of course, I do have a Supreme card, so obviously it's gonna be really strong, but I do want to see his ultimate in action. Yeah, his break power is pretty pathetic. It's okay, we're just gonna nuke him to death then. So I'm gonna see. Let's take a look at his ultimate now. It's called Devastating Slug.
Target marked.
Whoa! Damn, that is awesome. That is a pretty sweet ultimate. I like how he swings around his sword too. It's pretty cool. So Gilgamesh here, he's not gonna pose much of a threat. We'll take one attack from him.
You deserve to be punished.
Just because I want to see how much damage I can do when he's broken. Alright, let's do it. Roll arms. Woo! Pretty sweet. So yeah, this job is awesome, guys. I'm really happy I got him. I hope you guys were able to get him as well. Hope you guys are able to get some good stuff off of your free daily summons. Let me know in the comments what you guys been getting. What's your best thing from your daily summons? Hopefully you guys got some Supreme cards. Alright guys, that pretty much does it for this video. I pretty much just showed you a basic rundown of what the job is and what to expect. Kind of how to build them a little bit. You know, for the other elements, you know, I didn't really mention the high damage cards besides Bosch, and of course a couple cards for Dark, which is Arden, and Royal Arms. For Wind, there's not really any good Wind cards really for Warrior, for like high damage cards particularly. You can use Arenia, which is nice if you want to have a stun ability on him. But you don't have a lot to pick from, so if you just have Sicarius cards, they're perfectly fine. A Sicarius card at max, I don't have this one max, but it does have very good attack power. So if you just want to put on a Sicarius card and some AoE cards, you'll be good to go with this job, no problem. So anyway guys, this has been Lotus Moon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy what you see here. And I'll see you guys next video.